Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks right here on the Mayo Media Network. I'm your host, Chris Meaney. Thanks, as always, for taking the time to hang out. One game on the ice here this evening. It is Game 5 between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Islanders. This series all tied up at 2 games apiece. It is a best 2 out of 3 the rest of the way in this series, as well as the Montreal Canadiens and Vegas Golden Knights series. Game 5 gets underway tomorrow night as the series shifts to Sin City at T-Mobile Arena. It will be absolutely lit there after Vegas won last night in overtime 2-1. To break my heart, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. It will be heavy Islanders and Lightning here today. Subscribe to the Mayo Media Network. Lots of great content here. Smash that like button if you have a comment, a question, a concern. Please leave it there in the YouTube section. I will circle back, as always, before puck drop. As you know, we talk a lot about Prize Picks. This show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Check out prizepicks.com. Promo code MMN. A link inside the description of this video will get you a 100% first deposit match. There's a lot that Prize Picks has to offer. Of course, you can mix and match across all the sports that you love. And if you are subscribed to the Mayo Media Network, you know this. They have some baseball picks here, PGA, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. It's all happening over at prizepicks.com. Tons of games around the diamond. I believe 8 games around the diamond in Major League Baseball today. So you can mix and match, and they also have props for tomorrow's Game 5 between Montreal and Vegas, so you can get a piece of that early. And we'll talk about that game in a little bit. I could revisit Prize Picks and just recap with the Habs and the Golden Knights in this show, but I don't want to spend too much time on that one. The guys will cover it for you tomorrow. But over at prizepicks.com, I'm seeing a few that kind of stand out to me. You know, Matthew Barzal at 2 shots, Braden Point at 4 fantasy points, Nikita Kucherov at 4.6 fantasy points, and then Victor Hedman at 3.5. Let's just start with Barzal. He's at 2 shots here, the prop. That's fairly low. I know he's a pass-first guy. He's got 9 shots in the series, at least 2 in 3 of the 4 games. He had 1 shot in Game 4, but he did have 3 attempts. I've just noticed a different Matthew Barzal. It was halfway through round 2. I was looking for him to just be a little bit more selfish, shoot the puck, and he has been shooting the puck a little bit more. 20 shot attempts, leads the Islanders here in the playoffs, and number 2 in this series behind Victor Hedman, who has 24. But his 9 shots on goal is second among Islanders players as well, behind Cal Clutterbuck, believe it or not. More on him in just a little bit. But 2 shots is just too low here, right? He's getting about 3 attempts per game. 20 in the 4 games, obviously averaging more than 3 per game. 5 is a solid number here. And if he gets to 2, then we get that push. But if he gets 3, we're loving it. Over at prizepicks.com, I'll be honest, I'm not feeling a lot of these shot props, and I don't want to really go with unders. A lot of them are at 1.5. It's too hit or miss. John Gabriel Pageau's at 2. If he's at 1.5, I'd take the over. I don't see him getting 3. I could see him getting 2, but you get the push. What's the point? I think there's a better chance here to get Barzal over 2 shots. Nikita Kucherov's at 2.5. More on him a little bit. I'd consider the under, although I do think he has a big game today. So let's just talk about Kucherov, 4.6 fantasy points, and then Braden Point, 4 fantasy points. Hedman's in there at 3.5, but how could you not continue to attack Point and Kucherov, considering what they've done, not only in this year's playoffs, but dating back to last year in the bubble? Point has goals in 6 straight. He's got a league-high 12 goals here in the playoffs, 16 points in 15 games. He's got 17 goals in his last 20 playoff games. Heck, he's got 26 goals and 49 points in his last 38 playoff games dating back to last season. He's been automatic. 4 goals leads this series. Nikita Kucherov, he's got points in 7 straight, 12 points over that span, 2 goals. Pass-first guy, that's why I'd consider the under on the shot prop. 58 points in his last 40 playoff games, 6 points, leads this series as well. So the over on Kucherov at 4.6, the over on Point at 4, and the over on Matthew Barzal at 2 shots. As for Hedman, he could block a few. He does lead all players in shot attempts in this series with 24. So, he's probably a guy that gets an assist as well. He's somebody that I would consider the over. But I would rank him Point, Barzal, Kucherov, and then if you wanted a 4th, it would be Victor Hedman over 3.5. Check out prizepicks.com and check out the link inside the description of this video for a 100% first deposit match. Since we're still on Prize Picks, why not? Let's just look. There's no shot props or save props for tomorrow's game, but I'm seeing Alex Pietrangelo at 4.5, Max Pacioretty at 4.5. Over at FTN, I had the video, Prize Picks video about Alex Pietrangelo over 4.5. He hit. I believe I don't even think he had a point but he blocked enough shots and he had some shots on goal. Actually, I do think he had a point. You know what? I'm not sure. But the over 4.5 for Pietrangelo, I think, is a better play than the over 3.5 shots. He has been a beast shooting the puck, but he's also been a beast blocking shots. You get half a point for that. So I would lean with the over fantasy score at 4.5. But if you're just looking for tonight's action, you can just side with Point, Kucherov, and Barzal. All right, so for today, I should have just recapped the Habs and just get it the hell over with. I thought they played pretty good last night. I mean, the high danger chances were 17-1 at 5-5 for Montreal. The one high danger chance that Vegas had came in overtime and it was a goal. They scored. Bit of a softie that Braden McNabb scored on Price, but it's hard to fault Price, right? They're here because of Price. It was just kind of the opposite of Game 3. It was all Vegas. Montreal stole one from strong goaltending. And then Game 4, it was all Montreal. I expected a much better effort from Vegas. I put 2 units on them on the money line and on the under, and I sweated out that money line. I mean, it didn't look at any point that Vegas was just... It was so strange to me. It just, a lot of credit to the Habs. We've talked about it at length here on this show, what they did against Marner and Matthews, 1 goal combined. Scheifele didn't do anything in the game 1, and then he was suspended, but nobody else really stepped up on that team. And then you're seeing graphics of Mark Stone and Max Pacioretty. Where are these guys? It's 4 games. They don't have any goals. They hardly have any scoring chances or shot attempts. It's been a hell of a job by Montreal, again, continuing what they've done all series. So I think you can blow their narrative of the North being brutal. Like, shut the heck up. I mean, that is over with. Can we put that to bed? Can we put also to bed that Montreal can't play with Vegas? They clearly can play with Vegas. The style that they play is a different style than Colorado. It's not an up and down, open up offensive style. They can't play that way. They play good 5-on-5 hockey. They don't give up anything. I was very impressed with how the Canadians played last night, but I was more so surprised with how Vegas played as well. I just thought I'd see a little bit more effort. And at the end of the day here, we're sitting best 2 to 3 the rest of the way. The series shifts to Vegas. I think the Canadians are in trouble. As much as I'm saying that, I think Montreal's in trouble. I think there was an opportunity to go up 3-1 on home ice. You know, I think I said it on this show. I've said it a ton over at FTN, and I also tweeted it when Robin Lehner was announced the starter. It's not good for Montreal. It's not great. I think Fleury's a better goalie, but they play different styles. Montreal's not that skilled team. They have to score garbage goals, rebound goals, get in front of a goalie's face, make it tough for them. Fleury kicks out rebounds. He's made some mistakes playing the puck. He's really been shaky over the 3 games. And Robin Lehner is a big goalie, right? I mean, I got people texting me that he's a fat dude. He's 250, 6'2". He's big boned, but he's a big goalie. He takes up a lot of the net. He's sound. He doesn't really get out of position. He can kick out rebounds. He kicked out a couple yesterday, but he seems more sound than Fleury. And Montreal's a history of chasing starters and backups coming in and stealing the show, right? I think it was 2004, Martin Gerber. I think I brought it up on this show, and Cam Ward came in and stole the show the rest of the way, and it was history. And the guy was phenomenal, brought the Hurricanes to the Stanley Cup Finals. I think this move, Pete DeBoer, an obsession with Robin Lehner, and I think it's going to pay off for him. Certainly it has already. It was a ballsy call, and here we are going back to Vegas with that series all tied up too and a little bit of momentum. So it's not completely over for the Habs, of course. Vegas, not the Golden Knights, but Vegas books said there was a better chance for the Golden Knights to sweep than the Canadians to get a couple wins in this series, and they have. I think they can feel pretty good about how they played in Game 4, but Robin Lehner was the difference in Game 4, especially that breakaway save from Cole Caulfield would have made it 2-0. But still pretty impressive from the Habs, and you have to be impressed with what they've done and how they've just eliminated all the scoring chances from their forwards, basically. The entire offense in this series has come from the back line in Vegas. Pietrangelo's got the 3 goals. Theodore has a goal. Holden has a goal. McNabb has a goal. Alec Martinez has a goal. Where is everybody else offensively? They're not getting anything offensively from their forwards. So it'll be interesting rest of the way. A lot of credit to the Habs, what they've done defensively, but I was really impressed with how they played yesterday. But again, more so surprised with the Golden Knights. I will be on Vegas and the under in Game 5. I think we've nailed every single game here in that series, so that's kind of my lean. Maybe Habs in the puck line. I think it'll be another tight game, but the under has been the play for every game in that series. Okay, tonight, enough about that. You didn't come for the Islander or for the Habs and the Golden Knights, but you knew I was going to talk about it a little bit off the top. Let's talk about tonight. Islanders plus 165 using FTN parlay calculator. Free. Get the best possible odds. Prop shot as well. Tampa minus 185. Best I'm seeing. Total at 5. Islanders on the puck line plus 1.5. Minus 175. Tampa puck line plus 160. Tampa and the under is where I'm at. Minus 185. Minus or under 5 is plus 120. I think I'll just push. I'll find an alternate line here. Under 5.5 minus 155. I can see a 3-2 game. I don't want the push. I want that under to hit 5.5. Let's get into just what we've seen in this series so far. It's been, I'm using natural stat trick here. It's been pretty darn tight. It really has. At 5-5, this series has been pretty even, to be honest with you. Not a lot of offense to be had. At 5-5, 176 shot attempts for Tampa, 164 for the Islanders. The shots on goal, dead even at 94. The goals, dead even at 7. The expected goals in favor here of the Islanders, 8.95. Tampa, 6.94. The Corsi 4 slight edge for the Lightning, 51.76. Where the difference has been, I mean, the scoring chances in favor of Tampa, 102 to 96. The high danger chances in favor of the Islanders, 38-29, and the high danger goals, 5 for New York and 4 for Tampa. The save percentage at 5-on-5, it's dead even, 92.55 for both squads. It's pretty crazy. This series at 5-5, it's been pretty even. And the Islanders are hanging around with them. They did last year as well. The series went 6. Got to keep in mind that the 2 games that the Islanders won, there was no Braden Point, and Steven Stamkos didn't play in any of those games. And I wonder if he's playing in any of these games in this series here. We'll get to him in just a little bit. But game 1, right? I mean, slight edge Tampa. It's a 2-1 victory for the Islanders. They really didn't show up, Tampa, until the 3rd, and they gave them 0 chances off the rush. It was 9-0. The rush chances for the Islanders in that game. Game 2, much better effort from Tampa Bay. They won 4-2, a 56% Corsi 4 percentage. The shots on goal, 23 to 17 at 5-5. They had the edge in scoring chances, but the Islanders had one more high danger chance. Game 3, 2-1 for the Islanders. I thought it was a strong, or 2-1 for Tampa. I thought it was a very strong Islanders showing, a 54% Corsi 4. They had more shot attempts in them, 56 to 47, more shots, 27 to 24. The expected goals in their favor, 3 to 1.83. 62 expected goal for percentage at 5-5. That's pretty solid right there. And the high danger chances were 14 to 6 in favor of the Islanders, but Tampa Bay stole one. Just like the Habs stole in Game 3. And then in Game 4, I thought Tampa Bay was the better team, like the Canadiens, and it was just stolen from the opposite team. This is hockey. These things are going to happen. 54% Corsi 4 rating for Tampa Bay. The shot attempts at 5-5, 53 to 44. The shots on goal, 27 to 25. Fairly even from that standpoint. The high danger chances, 8-7 in favor of Tampa. But the expected goals, a slight edge for the Islanders. So even though Tampa seems to be controlling the play, because if you look at it overall, what I mentioned, slight edge Corsi 4, slight edge shot attempts, but the scoring chances and the high danger chances in favor of the Islanders. So the chances that they seem to get are just better quality chances, right? Chances of the puck going in the net a little bit better, and that's why we're seeing, the goal for percentage, the expected goal for percentage, just slightly higher for the Islanders here. But as this series shifts to Tampa Bay, I just have the lean with them. I think overall they are a better squad with a better goaltender. And you look at Vasilevsky, and it's been 2 or fewer in 7 of his past 10 games, and that's just the difference to me. And then it's no slight or knock on Semyon Varlamov. He's been solid as well and very good here in the playoffs, especially since he took over the net from Sorokin in round 2. I believe it was game 2. Against the Boston Bruins, but I just don't see a lot of offense. I see both goalies playing strong, and Islanders have done a really good job at eliminating some of these high danger chances. Now Braden Point and Kucherov are finding the way to score, but they've done a good job against the second line here. So I got the lean here. I think the series goes to the distance. I think Tampa gets this one and the under. I see like a 3-2, 3-1 game. I considered Tampa Bay puck line. I was considering that at plus money. It's so tough when Vegas gives these two these two series are so lopsided, right? It's hard to, like last night was so uneasy to lay 2 units down on Vegas at minus 172. And tonight, I'm looking at Tampa. Do I want to lay 2 units on a team at minus 185 where it does feel like a bit of a coin flip? I don't really, but to put Tampa and the under 5.5, you get some decent odds to parlay those. That's where I'm at. I think the Islanders win Game 6. I think it goes 7, and it should be an entertaining final 3 games here. From the shot props, I just want to throw out a bunch, and I will recap here at the end of where I'm at, but this is my train of thought here for everything in this game. John Gabriel Pageau, 1.5 shots. He's had the over in 3 of 4. I do like him. Braden Point's at 2.5 shots, minus 112. He's been at 2 in every single game in this series. I wouldn't take the under because he's getting to the 2, and I'm too nervous to take the under because I know he's capable of the 3, but I'm just staying away from it altogether. But that's a good price at minus 112 over at DraftKings at 2.5 shots. Kucherov, 2.5 is minus 132. The under is plus 100. Now, he has 5 shots in 4 games in this series. He's been under 2.5 in 10 of 15. I know it's very scary to go under considering what he can do. He's a bit of a pass-first guy, and I know this may seem weird that I'm feeling the under because I felt the over at Prize Picks, the over 4.5, and I'm kind of feeling like for him to have a 2-point game at plus 140 is not bad. It's not going to be my top 5, but it's not bad. I kind of like it. But the under shot prop is kind of in play here. I think it is. And I believe I'm going to put it in ftmbets.com. Under 2.5 plus 100. Pretty solid, right? Pass first guy, not doing it. He could easily end up with 2 points and not have 3 shots. It's very possible. Consider that one. Victor Hedman, plus 100, 2.5 shots. He does lead the way here in shot attempts, as I mentioned, in this series. He's got 9 shots, 2 in each game, 3, at least 2 in each game, 3 and 1. Somebody to consider plus money. Yanni Gourde, 1.5 shots, minus 162. He's got 18 attempts. It's the second most here on the Bolts. He's been over 1.5 in 3 of the 4 games in this series and 6 of his past 7. I like him. I like him today. And what I've noticed as we transition over to Stamkos, under 2.5, minus 155. That's right, an under for you guys. Kucherov, you don't want to do it, it's fine. How about Steven Stamkos, under 2.5 at minus 155? 9 straight games under 2.5. He's got 5 shots in the series. He played 10 minutes at 5-on-5 in Game 4. 10 minutes. He had the big turnover in Game 1. I wonder if he's healthy, right? I mean, we can say that because he's had some injuries over the past couple years. He doesn't look great. He's not playing on that top line with Kucherov and Point, so he's playing on that second line, which is not generating a whole lot really offensively. Stamkos has a series low 3 shot attempts and 2 shots at 5-on-5. In 4 games at 5-on-5, Stamkos has 2 shots and 3 shot attempts. I mentioned the 10 minutes at 5-on-5 in the last game. I mean, if you want to, I got it here quickly, if you want to just see where that ranks among all the players on Tampa Bay in that game, it's pretty low. Let's go here. Let's rank them. 5-on-5 ice time. Victor Hedman, 21 minutes. Kucherov, 19. Stamkos, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Tyler Johnson, Pat Maroon, and Ross Colton. The only skaters that played fewer minutes than Steven Stamkos. That's the 4th line. And I noticed that Stamkos, I mean, he was benched in one of the games. I believe it was Game 1 near the end. And he was also taken off the Kaloran and Cirelli line for Yanni Gourde. It was only a handful of minutes at 5-on-5. I mean, but that line was pretty good. Very productive. I got it here. It was 2 minutes and 34 seconds. They had 5 shot attempts. They had 3 shots on goal. They had 2 scoring chances. The line that led the way, surprisingly for Tampa, was the Colton, Johnson, and Maroon line at 5-on-5 in terms of just shot attempts and 68.75 Corsi for percentage. The worst line at 5-on-5 for the Lightning in Game 4 was the Kaloran, Stamkos, and Cirelli line. 6 minutes together, 3 shot attempts, 5 against, a 37.5 Corsi for percentage, 1 shot on goal, 2 scoring chances, 1 high danger chance. Not good enough. That's not great. Yanni Gourde was moving all around a little bit. His line with Coleman and Goudreau was great. Then he played the 2 minutes, as I mentioned, with Cirelli and Kaloran, and they went the way. They looked good. The Islanders' best line, believe it or not, from a Corsi for percentage, it's 64. The most shots on goal with 6. They had a goal. They had 6 scoring chances the most, and they had 2 high danger chances the most. It's the identity line. They played 7:55 together. Cizikas, Clutterbuck, and Martin played really good. And Cal Clutterbuck leads the way here in the playoffs for the Islanders in shot attempts with 11. He's third in expected goals behind, I believe it's Barzal and Eberle or Palmieri, one of the two. And then Clutterbuck has 10 shots, leads the Islanders. Pretty impressive stuff. He's relied on. Trotz likes that line. They play them. They roll them. They generate some offense, right? It's kind of like the fourth line in Montreal with Perry and Armia and Stahl. They get in on the forecheck. They play big down low. They cycle. They have guys in front of the net. They create havoc. And back to Stamkos, though. That's pretty remarkable, right? I mean, 0 shot attempts in Game 4 in 10 minutes of ice time. I like the under. Barzal, we talked about him off the top, 2.5. I'm seeing him over at DraftKings. He has the 20 attempts, 9 shots, which is second on the team, 3 goals and 3 points. So if I'm going to rank these shot props, let's go Yanni Gourde. Let's put Yanni Gourde up at the top here to have 2 shots. Let's go John Gabriel Pageau next to have 2 shots. Let's go Stamkos under 2.5 to, have fewer than 3 shots here. Those are the 3. And I think you're just better off, instead of taking Point and Kucherov for shot props, to just take them as point props. Braden Point, minus 167 for a point. It's not bad. And then Kucherov, maybe a 2-point night, plus 140. You don't want to get behind. He's too juiced for 1 point. I think he's like minus 230 or something silly like that. And Hedman's minus 182 for a point. That's tough to get behind. But I like Braden Point here, minus 167. And if you are looking for just a plus money play, double up your money here, Kucherov under 2.5 at plus 100. I think that's fine, even though I think he does hit the score sheet a couple times, but I think it'll be via an Apple. So over at DraftKings, the showdown slate, my player pool will be consisted of Point, Kucherov, Hedman, maybe Palat if I can. Yanni Gourde I like at 5.8. Stamkos is just a complete fade. If you're playing multiple lineups, maybe you want to get involved, but I think it's very, very risky, guys. He's just not doing a whole lot there. Cal Clutterbuck, again, just Cal Clutterbuck. He's getting the shot attempts here. He's 2K, so he's the guy that's going to save you a little bit of cash. He's got points in 2 straight games in this series. He had the 2 assists in Game 4. He had the goal in Game 3. He's got 8 shots in his past 2 games. So he's the guy that will save you a little bit of cash. Cizikas will also save you a little bit of cash, and Matt Martin. Cizikas is 3.8, and Martin, I believe, is 2K as well. Yeah, he's 2K, but I just have a lean with Clutterbuck a little bit more. For Tampa cheapies, there's really not a ton. I mean, Gourde at 5.8 is somebody that I like. Sergachev hasn't done anything in this series. He's 6K. Chernak is 5K. McDonough is 5.4. Man, what an ending to Game 4. When McDonough spun around, I thought it was going to be the goal of the year. But it turned out to be an unbelievable play by Pelech to block that. It was a crazy finish. But yeah, I don't think there's anything from a cheap standpoint. I mean, maybe Tyler Johnson at 3K. He did score in the last game, but as I mentioned, he's not getting a ton of ice time. He's on that 4th line, but he does get some power play time, 2nd PP unit, so that could work out. But, both goalies I do believe are in play. I think it's going to be low scoring. I have the lean with Vasilevsky because I do think Tampa Bay wins this game. And there's not a significant difference in price, 10.4 and 10K for Varlamov. There's a scenario where maybe Varlamov faces 40-plus shots here, but it seems very unlikely given how stingy the Islanders have been. You look at all these shot props, that's why I'm kind of leaning unders here. There hasn't been a whole lot in this series overall. I want to get out of here because I want to get this video quickly, but shot attempts, Hedman 25, Gourde second with 18, Sergachev 15 is next, Gaudreau is 14 next, Killorn's 14, and Coleman's 14. So it's not who you would think, but Yanni Gourde was phenomenal last year in the playoffs, especially with Coleman and Gaudreau. And if I noticed he's getting a little bit more ice time than Cirelli, starting to get leaned on a little bit more, plays in all situations. I think he's kind of the X factor, and he's second on the team. Well, tied for 3rd with 8 shots, and it's Gaudreau, his line mate, with 9 shots. So maybe get a little bit creative. Of course, you want to attack that top line in Tampa, and then maybe just attack the Gourde line, get involved with him in shot prop, or have a little bit of exposure to Coleman or Gaudreau. But I like Gourde the most because he does get that power play time and he does kill some penalties. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He looked really good last year, as I mentioned, in the playoffs. And then from the Islanders' standpoint, if you want to get involved with them, I mean, Clutterbuck, as I mentioned, is a guy that, he for Clutterbuck overall, he's not going to cost you a whole lot, right? He's cheap. He's got the 10 shots. He only has 11 attempts. I think I may have said he had 20. He's got 11 attempts, which is not near the most. Barzal has 20. Eberle has 19. Palmieri has 16. But for shots, he does have 10, which does lead the way. This is at all strengths, by the way. And then for shot attempts, the leaders are Barzal, Eberle, Palmieri, Nelson, and Pulock. So, I thought Nelson had a really good Game 4. I'm just not in on the Islanders tonight. I just think it's going to be a Tampa game. I think it's going to be a 3-1. I like the Barzal shot prop at 2 over at Prize Picks, but I think I'll just spend down on Clutterbuck, maybe Martin or Cizikas, get one of those guys and just go heavy Tampa. Again, with my core will be Point, Kucherov, Gord. You can mix in Palat, and then maybe take Palat out and mix in Hedman. You can roll with that top line and then just get involved with Yanni Gord. Okay, I think that's it. I believe I've rambled long enough. Tonight, Tampa and the under. John Gabriel Pageau over 1.5. Yanni Gord over 1.5. Steven Stamkos under 2.5. Point to get a point. I mean, you could take a shot on the goal. It's plus money. He's scoring. I don't know if he's going to score every single game, but to get a point, minus 167. And then that's pretty much it. That's my player pool. I personally will take a shot on Kucherov under 2.5 plus 100. I know that seems weird to consider him and then having him to get a 2-point night at plus 140, but I'm nuts. I'm crazy like that. I'll have a couple tickets, with just that, getting some plus money here. Just try to find some value because everything just seems to be pretty juiced for the most part. And then tomorrow, the guys will break down Vegas and Montreal, but I do believe Vegas will gain a little bit momentum from the last game after stealing Game 4, but I still think like the under. I don't believe the Habs will be able to score a ton of goals, and Carey Price has been pretty consistent here in the playoffs. So good luck tonight, and if you have any questions, hit me up at Chris Meaney. I'll circle back here before puck drop. There may be a few more shot props that pop up over at prizepicks.com. Let the winners be yours, and we will talk to you on Wednesday. Cheers.